What happens when your childhood is ripped from you by fear? At just 5 years old, Antonio narrowly escaped being kidnapped by the Colombian mafia, a moment that forced him to flee the country, live in America, and eventually settle in London. By age 9, he was already weighing 120 kilograms. Struggling with obesity, depression, and identity, he found hope through the gym, martial arts, and parkour, which led him down the path to helping others with their health and fitness goals.
Fitness saved my life because I used to be very obese. My dad is 6'1", and I was wearing his clothes at 9 years old. Fitness and exercise changed every aspect of my life. I get to live longer, I get to live happier, I get to do more things, I get to experience life more fully.
From parkour in the streets of London to choreographing fights for a fan-made Witcher project, this is the story of resilience, reinvention, and finding your power when the world tries to take it. If you ever felt stuck in your own story, this episode is yours. Tune in and feel what it means to fight your way back. Man, it's so good to finally have you here on the podcast. I've been wanting you here for so long.
It has been a long time. It's been a long time. And we've discussed it so many times. But I guess you've been busy, I've been busy, our schedules haven't met up. Finally ready to go for it.
Yes, and I love the new haircut too.
Yeah, really, man, if I tell you the truth, I was so nervous yesterday.
Yeah.
Well, the same guy that I usually go to, I've had very, very long hair, essentially, for 3 years. Grew it out, ponytail, like finally had it. And I went to the same barber that I've been to for my beard for the past like 5-6 years. And I told him, I'm like, this is what I want to go for.
And you kept the beard though.
Oh, I had to keep the beard. But he asked me like 6 or 7 times, are you sure? I'm about to start. Are you sure you want to do this? I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And I actually like it. It's less hassle, especially getting up in the morning.
Yeah.
So, yeah, finally.
And summertime? Yeah.
It makes it so much easier.
Yeah.
Roll out of bed, get ready, done. I don't have to, the washing, the conditioning.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm sure my wife is very happy that I'm not using her expensive conditioning stuff anymore.
Yeah.
So it's a win-win.
Awesome, man. Well, Antonio, for those who don't know you, I guess introduce yourself.
Okay. My name is Antonio. I am a personal trainer. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty much currently what my life is.
Awesome. Born in Colombia?
Yeah. Born in Colombia, lived in the States we moved when I was 5 through asylum because the Colombian mafia tried to kidnap me. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, yeah. So lived in the States then for about 6.5 years and then moved back to Colombia for 1.5 years.
Wow.
And then moved here. I've been here like 18 years almost now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then did you move to London on your own though, or with your?
No, so my parents split when I was 5.
Yes.
Or maybe just before I turned 5. And so I lived with a mom in the States, and then when we moved back to Colombia, my dad brought my brother and me here.
Yeah. Okay, and then and you decided to stay in London, for your adult life.
Yeah, I think. Look, I went to school here. I went to uni here.
Yeah.
My whole life is pretty much based around here, and it's the opportunities. It's the ability for me. I mean, look, when I first started going to school, I could walk or catch the bus by myself, right?
Yeah.
It's a luxury that I did not have in my home country. And so you're open to a lot of the freedoms that I think a lot of people might take for granted.
Yeah.
That I definitely did not have access to. And so, yeah, this just makes viable sense for now. Although we want to move to Costa Rica. When I have enough money and I can afford a beach bar.
Yeah. Oh man, that's sick.
That'd be the dream.
Yep. Do you go back to Colombia much?
We were supposed to. So I used to go, from when we moved here, my mom would come and visit us at least once a year. And then every 1.5 years we'd go to Colombia.
Yeah.
But the last trip that we planned to go was just as COVID hit.
Yeah.
I was supposed to take my best friend. We've been planning it for months. And then the trip got cancelled because of COVID. And then it's just been a very, very slow rise to kind of get back to there. But we're actually going back we're going in November.
Oh, beautiful.
And I get to take my wife for the first time to meet the grandparents, to meet the rest of the family, to see what my country's like.
Yep.
So we're very excited.
Wow. Yeah. Has Colombia maybe changed much, since you were a child?
Yes. I mean, it's a very interesting kind of mentality set that I like to kind of show people, which is in Colombia, we grow up thinking that in the UK and Britain, everybody drinks tea at a certain time and everybody speaks in a very, very posh certain way.
Yep.
And you get here and you realize that's not the case. I think that most of the news that escape Colombia tends to be quite like negative, scary things. But when you're there, it's really not that bad, especially as a tourist.
Yeah.
It isn't bad at all. And it's just about, we have a saying called no des papaya, which the literal translation means don't give papaya. But what it actually means is don't give a reason. So if you're walking through certain neighborhoods in London, you are not going to walk around with a nice watch. You're not going to take your phone out in public. Like, you're going to be smart about the choices that you're making, right?
Yeah.
Same thing in Colombia. Just be smart. Don't wear flashy jewelry. Don't take your phone out and show things off. Don't take your wallet out and count the cash in front of anybody. Like, just play smart and you'll be fine.
Yeah. Okay. And so you moved to London and you went to uni. What did you study?
I studied management with international business.
Okay.
So before, again, everything kind of happened during COVID. I used to work in sales for hedge funds or investments in a tech providing company.
Yeah.
And so that was very, very interesting. But yeah, 5 days a week in a suit, client meetings with very popular investment banks.
Corporate life.
Very corporate life. And then just before COVID hit, so I was doing, I used to do free running and parkour.
Yeah.
And I've been a martial artist all my life. And so when I got into uni, I started doing some stunt doubling work.
Yeah.
For somebody put it out on Facebook. I went for it. I ended up working for the BFI for a little bit, which was nice. But I did stunt doubling work and some extra work and some acting work for a couple of different things. And just before COVID hit, I had landed a role as Geralt of Rivia of the Witcher series.
Really?
It was a fan-made movie where I was playing the lead.
Yeah.
And we already had talks with Comic-Con in London, Comic-Con in San Diego, like to go and do panels there, and it was going to be so good. And we filmed a decent chunk of it, and it was going so well. And COVID hit, and the money lost all the funding and disappeared. But I quit my job.
Yeah.
Because I saw this going somewhere. I'm like, perfect. I'm going to quit my corporate job. I'm going to pursue a career in this acting thing. It should be so great. And then a week after I quit my job, COVID hit.
Oh, man.
And I was left with absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
And so that was two and a half years of me pretty much just living off my savings. Like, I had enough to buy a house. I was ready to like have my own. And I had to spend that money to survive. Pretty much I had to move back in with my father. And just survive off the money that I had. I couldn't get a job, nothing. It was absolutely horrendous. Thankfully, I had that money saved aside for it.
Yeah.
And then during COVID, the question that I asked myself was, look, clearly everything could end like that.
Yeah.
So what do I want to do with my life? And if I were to die tomorrow, and if everything were to end tomorrow, what would I be happy that I did with my life? And that's where PT came in, right? It was just kind of always there, and I hadn't really noticed. Like, I hadn't given it that much thought.
Yeah.
And it was there. Look, the fitness saved my life because I used to be very obese. So I used to be like 120 kilos when I was 9 years old.
When you were 9 years old?
I think it was a trauma from the attempted kidnapping and moving to a different country and not knowing anybody and trying to keep distance away from people.
Yeah.
So my defense, my go-to was to just eat and eat.
Yeah.
And it was rough. And so fitness kind of got me out of that. My dad's always been into fitness.
Yeah.
And so thanks to him, thanks to me moving here, thanks to him looking at me when he went to the States and turning around to my mom and being like, oh my God, he's huge. It's not that bad. It's like, you see him every day. Trust me, he's massive. Look at the clothes I'm having to buy. My dad is 6'1".
Yeah.
And I was wearing his clothes like that at 9 years old. Like, it's horrendous. And so, yeah. And so fitting was just the most obvious kind of thing when it all clicked into place. I'm like, of course this is it. Like, I get to share my passion because I'm in the gym all the time now anyways. I get to help people survive what I went through. I get to make an actual impact in people's lives instead of working for somebody else.
Yeah.
And this one thing, which is fitness and exercise, changed every aspect of my life, right? I get to live longer. I get to live happier. I get to do more things. I get to experience life more fully. So that was and I studied into it, and I did it, and
Yeah. When you were 9 years old, though, did you, being obese, with a 9-year-old mindset, like, do you know that something needs to change, or is it just like external people, or just...
You don't know that something needs to change, or you don't know that that's the specificity of what it needs to, you just think people are mean. Because all I would hear is, oh, fatty this, oh, you're that. Like, I wouldn't be invited to certain like groups, and like I wouldn't be chosen for sports in school. Like everything was like, looking back at it now, obviously it makes a lot more sense, but I felt really excluded, and that led to a lot of anger issues. So I had to have counseling for years when I came here, because all I knew how to do was, in defense of all of these comments, just be aggressive and violent.
Yeah, play the victim sort of thing.
Oh, it was brutal. So I'd get bigger because I felt sad, and then people would insult me because I got bigger. And obviously, when you're a kid, kids are brutal, right? There's no filter. And again, it's very different looking at it from an adult point of view, because you're like, yeah, kids are mean, but like you grow out of that. But when you're younger and that's all you've experienced, like you think life is like that, and I would just react to it aggressively. Like I remember back in the States during a summer camp, some kid said something to me, and I absolutely flipped the switch and grabbed a chair and threw it at his head. Like it's a lot of anger issues in a pretty big body then, but yeah, it just took a lot to get out of it. And I think the first step is not only for my parents to have seen that something was going on, but also once you start feeling better, you're like, okay, life isn't like this. Like when you're able to run around and move and jump, and it's like, oh, cool. Like I used to get you guys are allowed to laugh, by the way. Like I'm more than happy. I tell this story knowing the fact that there is humor in it. I have a younger brother who's 3 years younger than me. When I was obese, my brother was anorexic. Like
complete opposite.
He looked at me and he saw the way that the world was reacting to me, and he would say, I don't want that for myself. And so he wouldn't eat.
Yeah.
I would eat everything, he would eat. But there were times when I would get like stuck in certain doorways, and I'd have to have my brother run into me full pelt to hit me at the other side.
Yeah.
Like it's that kind of
almost like a cartoon.
Almost like a cartoon. And again, we get to laugh about it right now. Because a change has been made.
Yeah.
And so with the whole fitness side of things, if I can then inspire people and help people realize that it's never too late. You can always change. You can always improve your life, whether you're 9 or 100. Like it really doesn't matter. Like some of my favorite clients are in their late 50s, 60s, and putting in the amount of effort, full transformations, mental, more important than anything else. Then that's what I wanted to move into. I'm the happiest person in the world with the career choice I have.
And lifestyle change as well. Like I can completely relate to seeing those little habits that they just change. Yeah. And it's like, it's more impressive than the physical transformation as well. Yeah.
Exactly.
So, okay. Your dad is helping you to decide, okay, we need to make a change.
Yes.
For your health, for your body. So what happens? What did you start with?
Well, my father's an interesting character. Right, so he's a martial artist by trade. He's a sensei. He studied like something like 12 martial arts, black belt in 9 of them.
Whoa.
He created his own martial art in Colombia. He taught it. But he's also done a lot of other things, right? So my family is a military background. My grandfather was a captain in the Colombian Air Force, but he was also an Olympic gymnast.
Oh, wow.
He would do like professional gymnastics.
Yeah.
He was also the boxing champion of the army. Right. My dad got into martial arts, but my dad was head of national search and rescue when he was like 17, 18. Like he got into that, he became the head of it, and so there's a lot of experience that he can draw back from. He's always been very, very fit. Not weight fit. It wasn't ever about the weights. It was about body control. And so even up until a few years back, my dad is in his mid-60s now, but he was cycling like 120 miles a week. He'd cycle across the entirety of London to Greenwich and back for work. So he'd work all day.
Yeah.
A beast. Like my absolute inspiration when it comes to longevity and to fitness and to health. And the first thing that he ever got me into was parkour and freerun. So he was in his like late 40s, early 50s, and he'd come across while he was living here parkour for the first time.
Yeah.
And when we were kids, he would teach us how to do parkour. And so that was kind of like the first bit of free movement that I've kind of received. So when I moved here, I got into a community that was all about parkour and freerun. And
That's so cool.
we would go training like 8 hours a day in central London, like a massive group of us, whoever was there, and we'd jump and we'd move and we'd go to gymnastic gyms, and it was, I think that also really helped, because it wasn't just exercise, it was a lot of friends, it was a big community, and it was just about having a good time and jumping around and moving. Like as a kid, we want to do that anyways.
Yeah.
And I didn't have the liberty of doing that because of my size when I was young. So it was just all that more freeing down the line.
No, that's awesome. My mentor taught me that people join the gym for selfish reasons, but they end up staying for social.
Yes.
And it doesn't have to be like for the gym, but just for anything. When you find that community, and it's like that, people stay for that because it's
completely agree. Completely agree. Yeah. It's. I think that's the beauty of it, which I'm sure you've experienced when you're coaching your clients, right? The amount of times that I'll have people come up to me and go, "Oh," I'm like, "Well, why do you want to train?" And they'll say to me, well, this might sound a little bit like funny, but I just want to get like a bigger bum, or I want my arms to be bigger, or I want my chest to be bigger. And the first thing I say is, look, I'm not going to laugh at that. I think that that's a very respectable goal. Whatever goal you have, that's why I want you to keep it in mind. But I also say that because I know that in a couple of months' time, the goal is going to completely change. And it's going to go from, I want my bum to be a little bit bigger, or I want my legs to be a little bit smaller, to, I want to be able to lift this model, or I want to be able to do a pull-up. And suddenly it becomes about performance and ability rather than physical aesthetics. And because you probably went through it when you started training. I know that I definitely started for aesthetic reasons. And
yeah, aesthetics for me.
It's a beautiful change to see that mindset shift from the aesthetic goals to the practical application in real life goals. And it's just fantastic. And then you're right, people stay in the gym for the people around them. One of my favorite things to say is that when I started PTing, within the first year and a half, something that you need to know about PTing is clients will come to you for your energy. If you match energies, great. And so if we don't match energies, I'll probably send it to somebody else who probably fit the best. But after about a year and a half, 2 years of coaching, I get a picture from one of my clients. And she's with 6 of my other clients.
That's so cool.
Like at a house, just chatting. I'm like, what are you guys doing together? Oh yeah, we started talking in the gym, and suddenly, without knowing that they were all my clients, or all my close friends at the gym that I talked to individually, they all became friends separately. And so it created this lovely community just for them, where they could go to the gym, see their friends, talk to their friends, see me, and it's a safe space to just have a little bit of fun, but also become a better version of yourself.
Definitely. Yeah.
Hey, just a quick announcement before we return to the podcast. If you're someone who's been feeling a bit stuck lately, maybe you're switching careers, rebuilding your routine, or just trying to get your life together, I get it. That's exactly why I write the Midweek Motivation newsletter, where every week I share real, honest thoughts on training, mindset, and the messy process of figuring life out. Especially for guys like us, we're in our 20s and 30s, just trying to get ahead in our careers, fitness, and performance. It's short and it's personal, and it might just give you the push you need during the middle of the week when it's least motivating. You can subscribe using the link in the show notes below, or go to substack.com and search up Midweek Motivation. All right, let's get back to the podcast.
Right, and then when did you get to a point where you finally felt like it's a new version of yourself, where you're fit, you're looking good, got a bit of muscle mass, you got some explosive ability. Where does that sit in your time?
So the answer to that is very interesting, because it was only very, very recently. When I started the gym, I told my clients this, I wish that I'd hired myself a personal trainer, because I made a lot of silly, stupid mistakes when I was at uni. I ended up, I was tearing my right shoulder fully, dislocated both shoulders, messed up my lower back and my sciatica, doing just really silly things that I wouldn't recommend people to do now. Because I was following a friend and we weren't experts in technique, understandably. But PT is one of those things where you kind of look at it from, I'm going to compare it to something like plumbing. If the plumbing in your sink breaks, are you going to try to fix it yourself, or are you going to call somebody in to come check it out? Okay, I don't know how to handle it. I'm probably going to make things worse. I'm going to call somebody in. PTing is pretty much the same thing. It is your body 100%. The same as that is your sink. Cool.
Yeah.
But you don't know enough about it to make the right choices, to make the changes and effect that you want to make. And so a lot of people end up making a lot of mistakes. I wish that I had myself a PT. But I did so many things for so long. Progress was so slow that only up until maybe the last 2 years can I say that I am happy and content with what my physique is like now.
Yeah.
And where my strength is like now. Is there more to improve? Always. And when you get into the gym, you think, oh, when I look like this, I'm going to be happy. And then you look like that and you're like, I'm not even close. You're always going to be striving for more.
Yeah.
But I am definitely content. Like I'm very, very happy with the way I look now. I used to be very self-critical. Up until a few years ago, and my wife, thanks to her, also helped me change that mindset. I wouldn't be able to look myself in the mirror without saying something really negative.
Yeah.
Or every single time that I train, I'm like, oh, that was bad. Oh, I could have done better. Oh, this wasn't good enough. Oh, I look like, oh, this roll, oh, this part of the leg. The last maybe year and a half has been, and this looks good. Oh, you've really put an effort into this. I can see the difference. Oh, and I feel better.
Yeah.
And that mental shift, I think, has definitely helped. And I think that comes from three things. I think the first is doing the right kind of stuff in the gym. I, as a personal trainer, got myself a personal trainer, somebody who I value and respect and trust and get inspired by, before I ever got him as a coach.
Yeah.
Somebody who I consider a friend. And so having somebody there who you fully trust, whose physique is also something that you really admire, really helps. Because you get to jump into it fully and just dive in to whatever they tell you. So whatever he says, do A, B, C, and W, and I'm like, you got it, boss. And I do.
Yeah.
And it gets done, and we see the progress, and we talk, and it helps to have somebody there to also talk to. All right? Which is great. So I think having a coach for me has definitely been a massive impact. Second thing has been learning how to not demonize food.
Mm.
I, during COVID, challenged myself to get down to 8% body fat while being at home. And so I lost 20 kilos in 5 months.
Jeez.
I got down from something like 21% body fat down to 8% body fat.
In 5 months?
In 5 months. I was doing intermittent fasting. 20 hours off, 4 hours on.
Wow.
And 1,200 calories a day.
Would that be, do you think was it in one meal, or you just kind of spread it?
It was, over the 4 hours, it was 3 meals.
3 meals in 4 hours.
1,200 calories.
Yeah.
In total. And it almost broke me. And not only did it almost break me, it almost broke my parents. To the point where my dad told me afterwards, like, I'm glad you stopped what you did, because any further, and I was going to force you to change that. Because I could see, yes, I got super lean, don't get me wrong, I got super shredded.
Yeah.
Was it worth it? No. I couldn't sleep very well. Something that nobody tells you is when you drop down to that percentage level of body fat, especially considering the fact that it was such a fast cut,
Yeah.
that I lost so much muscle mass, there's no insulation for noise. So when I used to lay down in bed to go to sleep, I could hear my heartbeat. It was horrendous.
Yeah.
Very hard to fall asleep. Tired and lethargic the entire day. I'd go to sleep at like something like 9 or 10, wake up at midday. I would then wake up, train for 3 hours with resistance bands and doing HIIT training at home,
Wow.
and then sit down covered up in a blanket
Yeah.
midsummer because I was freezing. covered up with a blanket, playing video games for the entire rest of the day, eat, and go to sleep.
Yeah.
And this was being at home, right? Like, if it was unsustainable then, insanely unsustainable in real life. And I didn't hold it on for long. And so I ended up demonizing food because because I lost it so quickly, when I started eating, I started putting it back on very quickly.
Yeah.
And I remember crying in front of the mirror after the first week because I'm like, bro, like, oh my God, I've already lost so much definition. What's going on? And I started hating food. Oh, I'm going to fast now for 2 full days without eating, just water to get back to that. Oh. And so it now has been, look, Monday to Friday, I'm very strict with my food. Saturdays and Sundays, at least and as long as I'm getting the protein needed, I don't really worry about what I'm having. If I want to have a piece, I'm going to have a piece.
Yeah.
I'm going to work it out throughout the week anyways. I'm not aiming to be a Mr. Olympic competitive athlete, bodybuilder off stage. Not really needed. But I can also enjoy my time with my food, enjoy the foods that I like, or even make healthier versions of it on the weekends, which is great.
Yeah.
My wife gets to enjoy whatever food she wants with me, with her, without her feeling like she's eating and I can't, or she's teasing me with food, whatever. And I can go out and enjoy myself without feeling guilty either.
Yeah.
If I want to go and have a drink, I'll go. Like, I don't drink ever, but when I go for a drink, I'm going to go and enjoy myself. Right?
Yeah.
So I think that's the second one. And then I think the third one was just reinforcing self-love. I remember doing a test. I spoke to a really, really dear friend of mine, somebody who I consider an older sister. And she sat me down when I was going through this period, and she says, what I want you to do is I want you to, every morning, when you go to the bathroom, fully naked, I want you to look in the mirror and choose something that you like about yourself. Choose 3 things that you like. And at the beginning, it might not be things that you like. It might just be things that you don't hate.
Yeah, okay.
And I remember the first day looking in the mirror and bursting into tears because there wasn't a single thing that I could find that I liked about myself. And this was after 5 months of getting down to 8% body fat to reach the goal that I wanted, and I couldn't find a single thing. Like that shifted my mentality completely. And so every day I try a little bit more, and I'm like, oh, you know what? I don't mind the shape of my ears. To start off with something completely random.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't mind the fact that, actually, I kind of like my nails. And then it now developed to the point of which I'll be training, and I'm like, I'm proud of you now. Like, it used to be very, negative, self-hating talk to reach motivation.
Yeah.
Now it's, I'm getting better. Oh, that lift felt so much nicer. Oh, yes, the numbers are going up. And yeah, I think with those 3 things is now why in the past year and a half, I'm now in a much better, happier spot.
Yeah. Oh, that's so cool to hear that this transformation. I only knew the surface level of all that. So
Yeah.
I'm proud of you, man, for coming such a long way and also sharing that as well.
Thank you, man. I appreciate you. No, but it's insane, right? Because, well, we've known each other for
Almost
a year.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we talk. And we talk in the gym. We talk in the gym all the time. But this is the thing that I love with stuff like this, and also why I love spending so much time with my clients, is you never know the deeper level stuff. And then you find out about it, and suddenly everything makes more sense. Right? Like, I always try to find out the why of why somebody's training. Why is somebody in the gym? The why, for me, is I know what it feels like to not be there. And I never want to go back to that mentality again. Very dark, very lonely, very depressing. And the physique that I had was just something that I never wanted to go back to. And so that's the why that even on the tough days, when motivation has waned, what's going to get me to the gym? What's going to get me to look after myself a little bit? Well, it's going to be that. So that's what's going to be down to the discipline and the dedication of it.
Yeah. As you mentioned before, you went through a lot of mistakes on your gym journey, injury and all that. What are some of the common mistakes that beginners make now that you see in the gym?
Okay.
Going through that yourself personally, but also as a coach.
Okay, that's beautiful. And I think there are staples, right? And I hate generalizing, but there are definitely some very typical mistakes that I think we all see people commit. I think, number 1, too heavy too soon. I think that's one of the biggest ones.
Yes.
Especially in men. I think that men tend to ego lift and I think women tend to underlift. So that's definitely like a key portion there. Guys will come to the gym, they want to get bigger, they see everything on Instagram, oh, I want to get massive,
Yeah.
and they start lifting very, very heavy weights and use the injury. Women want to come in, but they have the mentality that when they start lifting, they're going to get butch. I've been trying to get butch for 12 years, and I'm still not there. So it's
Yeah.
taking time. So trust me, ladies, when I tell you you're not going to get butch, you're going to be fine. But women tend to underlift. And so with a lot of my female clients, the aim is always to try to be like, you can do a little bit more. How tough is that feeling? I can tell from your face. Let's go a little bit more. And prove to them the fact that they're actually stronger than you.
Yeah.
I think that's mistake number one for both of them. I think mistake number two is thinking that you can get results in 3 months. I will be perfectly honest with you. The results that you're looking for, the changes that you want to see, you're not going to get it in a year. The results happen with consistency and discipline plus 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
And I think when people get into the gym, it's with a false hope. And that's why a lot of people end up not sticking to it. It's what we love to criticize, which is the New Year's resolutioners. This is the year that I get fit. Well, what happens? You think the fact that you're going to do it in 6 months, and after 2 months, you're not seeing the results that you want, and so you stop.
Yep.
That's one of the issues. Come in knowing that this isn't a hobby. This is now something that it's going to become part of your daily and weekly routine for the rest of your life.
Yep.
It's not about bigger biceps. It's about the strength that you have in your arms, being able to give you the ability to do more things in life down the road. So I think that's definitely mistake number two. And then you have your basics, not focusing on technique on exercises. One of the most common injuries that we get in the gym is rotator cuff impingements or tears. And that's because people bench press or shoulder press incorrectly. And all it takes is to ask. We studied for this. We studied years for the knowledge, plus gained years of experience doing it practically. Do not expect to come in straight away and know and think you know everything. It's one of my friends explained this to me really interesting. It's the confidence to knowledge curve. So if you imagine the curve, you've got on this side, you've got confidence. Over here, you've got knowledge. And as soon as you start off in the gym, that's peak. Peak confidence, very little knowledge. And usually it takes a moment, this climax pinpoint where you get an injury, or you get humbled by someone, or somebody says something to you that makes everything click, and you realize that you actually know nothing. And that confidence drops off. And over time, that confidence curve will grow and grow and grow, but it'll never be as high as that initial first moment when you join the gym.
Yeah.
I think that a lot of people come in expecting to be the best and to know the best, and the amount of times that I've gone up to like a group of like 17, 18 years old, I'm like, hey guys, can I show you like with what you're doing? No, we know what we're doing. We saw a YouTube video. I'm like, oh, okay. I'll see you in a couple of months when you're injured, and then you guys have to come back to me and tell me something. Like I'm all I want to do is try.
Yeah.
And so I think that's probably like the third biggest, which is just all technique based.
Yeah.
Make sure the fact that when it comes to technique, you know everything, and you have a personal trainer, and you get that sort of out.
Yeah. I think it's like with anything that, I think the more you know, the less that you don't. Wait, no. Well, how's that saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. The more you know, the more you realize you don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, you know, when I go on my journey, it's like, yeah, I'm learning things. Okay, now I'm going to coach that. And then suddenly you go to uni, and then you go through these other courses, and then you start like watching other people do it in a different way for a purpose, and you're like, oh my god, like.
I never knew you could apply it like that.
Yeah, like powerlifters go into this arch for this reason, and they bring their feedbacks like, oh, it's just a bench. I thought it was just lying back and just bench, you know? There's so much that you can learn from other people, from different disciplines, and that's really cool to see all that happen, especially with Olympic lifting. Like that, for me, that's a...
I respect you so much for being able to do it. I don't think that's ever something that I'm going to get into, because it also, it's so insanely and incredibly technical. Right? Like I see you do your lifts, and the way you prepare for them, and the way you do your lifts, and it's surgical in your application of it, in your performance on it. It's just so tidy, so clean. Every single rep looks the same, and it's complicated. I'm guessing it took you years to be able to get to the point where you are now, where you can perform it to make it look so effortless.
Yeah, definitely. Because like, when you're first starting out with that, you're like, it's just techniques. Like you feel strong, but you just can't move as well. So it's very quickly that when you practice like the main portions of your technique until you get to around sort of like for your snatch, maybe around body weights, clean jerk maybe a bit more, but then suddenly like then you hit that wall, and now it's strength and technique. It's not just technique anymore to get there. So that's like it's funny when you see people like, oh yeah, okay, I'm going to try this power clean, and they can just muscle it up. Okay, you know, for someone like yourself, you can probably, you know, power clean up maybe 70, 80 kilos, like, no problem without technique. But then suddenly like you can't get any more without.
There's no shot. There's no shot. There is no shot.
Well, I think with your martial arts background, I think you know you'll be able to achieve some good lifts in time.
Yeah, I just don't think that. Look, you're never going to see me Olympic lift. I don't think that's ever going to be something that I'm particularly into. But it's something that I love to see.
Yeah.
So whenever you lift, I always keep an eye out because it's beautiful to watch.
I mean, for me, it's also, it's like an art. And that's the same with, I think, other sports, whether it's in bodybuilding, and in martial arts, it's also an art as well. It's not just physical aspects. Like, you know, you make it look so beautiful and effortless to someone. Like, to see, you know, when you've been in the park with your mates and you're just, like, you know, having fun, like, moving, and it's like, yeah, I don't really want to join you because I know my legs can't do that. Yeah, so I think that's just really cool how, like, we can make, like, fitness or moving just, like, beautiful.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think that's where the expertise comes into play. And I think it's something that my mom once said to me, which is you can tell you're really good at it because you make it look easy.
Yeah.
I know the fact that if I was going to try that, there's no shot in hell that I'm ever going to do it. And it's I love it. And I love being able to do certain things. I love being able to coach people into being able to do things that they never ever thought that they'd be able to do.
Yeah.
Hey, just a quick announcement before we return to the podcast. If you're someone who's been feeling a bit stuck lately, maybe you're switching careers, rebuilding your routine, or just trying to get your life together, I get it. That's exactly why I write the Midweek Motivation newsletter, where every week I share real, honest thoughts on training, mindset, and the messy process of figuring life out. Especially for guys like us, we're in our 20s and 30s, just trying to get ahead in our careers, fitness, and performance. It's short and it's personal, and it might just give you the push you need during the middle of the week when it's least motivating. You can subscribe using the link in the show notes below, or go to substack.com and search up Midweek Motivation. All right, let's get back to the podcast.
For new personal trainers coming to the scene, and I guess you watch them, or you introduce yourself, or whatever reason you see them, what are some of the mistakes they go into personal training, or just coaching anyone in general?
I think the reason why you go into personal training, and I'm going to be very picky, and there's a reason. I love what I do. I didn't start off with personal training. I came from something else, something insanely different. And so personal training is my passion. I love it with my entire soul. I'm really doing it for the rest of my life because I love the effect I have. Because it's my passion, I am very picky about the reasons why people get into personal training. A lot of the times it tends to be monetary. People think that PTing is easy and you're going to be able to get a lot of money out of it.
Yeah.
I don't think that people understand how much work you have to put into it to be able to get there in the first place. Especially with the market oversaturated as it is, not only in person, but also on social media, right?
Yeah, online is boomed just since COVID.
Huge. And so I understand getting into it for monetary reasons, but I don't like it. And I think PTs who get into it for monetary reasons don't last. And I've seen it happen time and time again. I think another mistake that PTs make is, again, very similar to beginning lifters. You don't know anything. The course that you've gone into to learn for a few months, especially depending on the course you've chosen, you know nothing. I know because I did it when I started PTing. When I started PTing, I was like, oh yeah, and I chose the best course. And I did choose a course that took me like 2.5, 3 years to get my level 2 and my level 3 on, right? And I poured hours and drew diagrams of body anatomy, and again, it's my passion, so I put so much more work into it.
Yeah.
And even then, when I got into it, I realized the fact that I knew nothing, but I thought that I knew it all. And so I was even trying to correct certain personal trainers in the gym. They look at me like, because I thought I knew better. Trust me, you don't. These people have years and years of experience, and so instead of coming in thinking you know it all, asking everybody there, and trying to see what people's training is like, and always asking, if you don't understand something, oh, how comes you do this? If you don't agree with it, how comes? Because you never know the answer you're going to get. And that also really, really helps. And I think the other big mistake is, remember the fact that PTing isn't about you. It's about your clients.
Yes.
And that's what you're doing. You're not PTing for your business, you're PTing because you want to help other people become better versions of themselves. And so when you leave that focus to focus on you, instead of leaving that focus on what it should be, which is fully dedicated to your clients, to their progress, to seeing how they're doing, to also keeping an eye up on their personal lives. Hey, I heard you go on holiday. How was it? Did you have that pizza that you talked about? Oh, great. You are essentially a therapist, and people are trusting you with their most important asset, which is their physique, their body, their health, their longevity. So make sure the fact that you're putting the time and effort needed to be able to return that to you.
Yeah.
I think that, definitely that.
Definitely agreed. Like for me, I didn't have the money to start with a trainer. So I had plenty of time. That was my asset. So I went hours, YouTube videos, and just like practicing on myself, experimenting, and then seeing the progress. And if that something didn't work, why is it? So I need to change, my position. That's where I started. And then from there, I started to use my experience to invest into courses and everything like that. But yeah, it's one thing to coach yourself and see the results, but then to be able to coach that to someone else, completely different.
Yes, it's my dad has a wonderful saying, and he said this to me when we were younger. He said to me, understand the fact that I've only learned what it was like to be a son the moment that I had you, because now I understood what the shoe felt like on the other side. I think with coaching is the same thing. I will sometimes coach my clients and say things and point things out to them that I'm like, oh, okay. And now I can apply that to myself. Oh, beautiful. Like sometimes I'll see them make mistakes that I never made. And I'll see them make mistakes and I'll be like, that actually makes a lot of, and that's probably why in my own training, X, Y, Z. Once you're taking a look at somebody else and their health is dependent on you, when it comes to training, fixing form, fixing technique, changing weights, like you end up then realizing, like you said, how much more different it is. But it also helps you learn a lot more. I've learned more as a coach than I did in the course.
Yes.
You always learn through experience.
Definitely. Like I've never been overweight, so I don't know what that feels like. Yet most people do have some of that experience. So like I have to really put myself into someone else's shoes on, how can I really help this person? I'll be on the opposite spectrum, but it's so different, and everyone has their own journey and something else going on. There's no way you can have every single thing wrong with you and then coach yourself to fix everything. You have to you can either niche down or just connect with so many different people.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't necessarily be a coaching lens, but just having some good conversations with people.
And it's I think that it also makes you insanely more empathetic.
Yeah.
Like you because you're putting yourself into other people's shoes all the time, you end up applying that also to your daily life. So I find myself day in and day out, I'll give you a very, very specific example. I walk very fast. And so whenever I'm on my way to anything or doing something, I always like being on time, and I will always like today I showed up exactly on the dot, downstairs, pressed the doorbell, even though I said I was going to be late. I'm like, I can't afford. So I'll speed up and I'll run and I'll walk but I'll walk fast.
Yeah.
And walking through the station at Clapham, especially in the mornings, it can get insanely busy. And I was finding myself getting frustrated with people in front of me who were walking slow and who are in the way. But then, because I spend every single day, multiple times a day with different clients, putting myself into their shoes and trying to understand how they're feeling, I just started applying it to my daily life. So the first thing that I said was, I get angry and I'm like, wait, let me put myself in their shoes. I'm not in a rush. I'm just walking. I'm not really thinking about anything else apart from my own stuff. I'm not focused on the fast guy who's walking behind me who's got to go to work that I don't even know.
Yeah.
And suddenly it brings my anger completely down. And I'm like, I'm getting angry over somebody taking it as a personal slight when he really isn't. And it makes me completely relaxed.
Yeah.
And I think adding that empathy and experiencing it throughout the daily lives that we lead as coaches, and I'm sure it also applies to a whole bunch of other different jobs, right? But being able to then apply it into real life, it just makes life so much more peaceful and relaxing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of skills that we're also learning that I learned from my clients as well, which is very happy.
That's a really, I think it's a really important mindset that a lot of people can adopt, you know. Yeah, everyone literally is only thinking about themselves.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Which applies perfectly again to the gym, because how many times have you had a conversation with somebody who's about to start and they say, oh, I feel self-conscious going to the gym, everybody's going to look at me, brother, nobody's going to even notice you exist.
Yeah.
Where everybody's so focused on their own things, nobody's looking at you. And what you're going to realize, and this is what I say, it's like, if you go to the gym, are you going to be looking at anybody else? No. Why do you think people are going to look at you? Oh, because I'm you. You think they know you're you? You're just a random person walking past the street for them. And you'll be fine.
Yeah.
So, and if you ever worry, what I want you to do is I want you to go up to the biggest, meanest looking guy in the gym, the guy with the biggest muscles, and ask him for help. Because I guarantee you, he's going to be the nicest person in the world. He's going to help you with anything you need.
Yeah.
Because he's been through the struggle. He knows what it's like to start. We all know. We all started off not being in shape. No one goes to the gym for the first time already absolutely massive, unless you've got the genetics of a god, and obviously you've played specific sports before. That's great.
Yeah.
But so, when you're a big guy in the gym, you know what it's like, and you know the struggle. You know what it's like training all the time. You know what it's like training when you don't want to be there. You know what it's like getting form wrong. You know what it's like getting injured. You know what it's like stepping foot into the gym for the first time and feeling self-conscious. So, approaching a guy like that, like, I find that the biggest guys, a few years back, actually, I had one of the biggest guys in the gym, like, cry on my shoulder. This was at a different gym that I was going to.
Yeah, wow.
And that's because I went up to him and I said, bro, like, I don't know if you hear this a lot, but I'm proud of you, man. I see you here all the time. Like, you're a massive inspiration. And he kind of he's like, can I get a hug? And so I gave him a hug, and he kind of, like, some tears fell on my shoulder. He's like, nobody ever comes up to me and tells me that. Like, that's,
wow.
like, oh, man. Like, geez, that, oh.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, it's, yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful, yeah. Yeah, I love connecting with people, with people in the gym.
Yeah.
And it's like, I never used to be like that. Like, I was just, okay, come in, do my workout, then I leave.
And you're done.
Yeah. And then, like I said before, until I realized, like, that people are wonderful human beings in the gym. Gym's such an awesome environment to be around. Yeah, you get some people who just, like, go for ego and just, like, think they're better than everyone else. But for the most part...
for the most part, people are amazing.
Yeah.
And it's one of those places where everyone who's there is after the same thing. Everyone who's there just wants to be a better version, whether it's aesthetics, whether it's power, whether it's strength, whether it's technique and sport-specific exercises. Everybody's trying to become a better, healthier version of themselves. And so, yeah, and you see me, when I was at Fitness First, I talked to everybody.
Yes.
Because everybody's after, we're all after the same goal. So of course we're going to have a chat. Because I respect your mentality. I respect you just for simply stepping foot into the gym.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But you recently just left Fitness First, which is very sad.
Yeah.
That we, losing the best PT.
After, no. You were the best. I got intimidated, which is why I left. I think, you're too good at what you do. And I was realizing the fact that I had no more clients anymore because you took them all. And,
That's not true.
yeah.
Yeah, cool. And so, how are you finding this? Obviously, it's a completely different environment. You're no longer going to a commercial gym, but now you got a studio.
No, so it's we call it a physically integrated center.
Oh.
First of all, it's amazing. It's physiotherapy, osteopathy, cryotherapy, sports massage, and personal training.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a one-stop shop, ideally for all your health needs. You got the PT side to make you stronger, fitter, essentially able to live longer. You got your physiotherapy to help with any injuries, recurring injuries. You have your osteopathy in case you have any niggles or pains that might not be injury focused, but just you felt a bit of pain, a bit of tightness. Sports massage there to help relieve all your tension. And the cryotherapy, which I think is currently one of the main points there, which I think there's less than 100 of full body cryotherapy machines in the UK.
Oh.
So the fact that we've got one here is great. And that then helps everything else.
Yeah.
Everything that can't be done with our hands or technique, right? So you've better blood circulation, lower blood pressure. It helps you sleep better.
Yeah.
Like if it heals your skin. So I've got and if anyone here knows me, you'll see that sometimes I'll have very, very bad eczema in my hands, right? I've now been doing cryotherapy since we opened up, every single time I'm in the gym, and it's the smoothest that my skin has felt in years.
Wow. And how long would you stay in the chamber?
Oh, 3 minutes.
3 minutes.
It's at minus 87 degrees.
Jeez.
But you've been in a sauna.
I've been in a sauna.
Okay, sauna's plus 100.
Yeah.
And you go in there and it's fine.
Yeah.
So this is pretty much the same, and it's a dry cold. So the beauty of it is you get to step in there. We give you everything. You've got your thermal socks, your boots, your gloves, your hat, your mask, your shorts, and you step in there, and one of my favorite parts of the cryo chamber is you get to pick what song you want while you're in there.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'll go in there and it'll be I know my boss. Oh, of course, my boss is mental. Diego, who was my colleague for three and a half years, his place and his partner Marcos that they've opened. He plays Hercules in there. And sometimes I'll play Disney, sometimes I'll play heavy metal, sometimes I'll play country. Sometimes I had one of my friends go in yesterday and he played salsa. He was dancing salsa, and like you get to enjoy your time while you're in there. 3 minutes, and you come out and you feel better. Inflammation fully gone, so for recovery it's insane.
Yep.
You sleep better that night too. My sleeps over the last 2 weeks have been amazing, considering also that I'm also waking up like an hour earlier than what I was waking up for to go fitness first.
Yep.
And I'm getting home way later, and my sleeps are just. Oh, I wake up feeling amazing.
Wow.
It's huge, and so it's been really popping off here, and I'm really happy. And all of our clients have obviously come to check it out, and we're training them there, and they're already going to see the physio and the sports massage, and it's honestly, I am insanely happy.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Transition.
I gotta try that cryo.
Oh, brother, you gotta come and try it.
Yeah, I've never done it before. So.
Oh, it's and I hate the cold. I'm from Colombia. I'm not used to it. I don't want the cold. I lived in Florida. I am not one for the cold. When it gets cold in this country, I hate it. And I love stepping in there. And every single person who turns around and says, "Oh, I hate the cold," they go in there. They actually come out and go, "It's not that bad." I think you'd love it.
Yeah,
I think you'd love it.
Definitely. Well, we can start to wrap up here. We've had a really awesome conversation here. I mean, do you have any other things coming up in your life, personal, career, business, anything like that that you're keen to share?
Honestly, no. I'm just happy with my life at the moment, and it's very. I feel very happy to say that, because I can remember a whole bunch of times in my life where I'm like, I hate my life.
Yeah.
I'm actually very, very happy with the way everything's going. I'm happy with the effort that we've put into things. I'm happy with my personal life, and I'm obviously insanely happy with my wife and that whole situation there, and everything is just fantastic. Like I wouldn't change anything, and so right now it's just doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
And happy, and then looking forward to our holiday to Colombia in November.
Yeah.
I
awesome.
think that's going to be the big one, because I get to go with my best friends.
Yeah.
We won best friends for like 17 years. So finally get to come with me. So yeah, apart from that, yeah, just staying doing what we're doing, carry on training, trying to improve, getting better.
Yeah, beautiful, man. And where can people find you, Antonio?
Well, in person, Revitalis at Clapham Junction. But online, on Instagram, Antonio Demendoza _fitness. And yeah, I mean, look, I'd love doing this, so thank you very, very much for having me here. It's been a lot of fun. Obviously, you get me talking, and as I'm sure you can tell, I will carry on talking. But yeah, no, this has been great.
Awesome, brother. Well, thanks so much for coming on the podcast. And yeah.
Thank you so much for listening to the Midweek Motivation Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode with Antonio, you can find more of our stuff together. We've actually made a 3-part series on Beginner's Guide to the Gym, and you can actually click it just right here as a playlist. If you're not watching us on YouTube, you can follow the link in the description where his socials and contact information are as well. If you enjoyed this episode, please give us a like or a subscribe on whatever platform you're using, whether it's YouTube, Spotify, Substack, or Apple. And if you're interested in online coaching or in-person personal training, my website's also in the description below. Thank you again so much for watching or listening. I appreciate your support, and we'll see you in the next episode.